Well, good day everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, so the last video I sort of introduced the Olympia Reporter Type Bar electric machine, and as you might recall from that video, it's in pretty good shape, really good shape, except for one problem, which is the main drive belt is slipping because it's stretched out and kind of old. So one of my viewers, Kevin Anderson, hey Kevin, he left a comment and suggested that I try going to the local hardware store and looking for a certain O-ring, and I went out to my local True Value hardware store, which is really the closest one to me, and I found they have a whole series of bins full of black O-rings, and I found one that was 4 1/4 inches in diameter and about 1/8 of an inch thick. Looked like it would fit the bill, and so I put it into this machine. So this is the old drive belt. It's roughly 1/4 inch in width, and it's a V belt, and it has these notches on the inside. But you can probably see there's definitely a bend it's taken from just sitting unused over the motor shaft for years and years, and it was stretched out also, so it wasn't gripping enough. And as I understand from reading about these belts, the purpose for the notches is so that the belt can make a sharper bend because of the motor shaft. The pulley on the motor shaft is pretty small in diameter, and that's what these notches are for. But it looks like for now the round 1/8 inch wide drive belt that I replaced it with should work. Let's take a look at how I replaced it. Well, you want to start by unplugging the machine, and then you want to turn on the power switch so you can disengage the carriage lock. And you're going to be taking out these two Phillips screws. These are actually JIS, Japanese Industrial Society. Looks like Phillips, but they're a little bit different. Okay, then you're going to center the carriage and put the machine upside down on a soft padded surface like this towel here. There's 2 more of the same screws you'll remove, and then the 4 feet. Okay, then on the front lip of the machine you want to kind of pry the little clips apart. There'll be those on the front, the sides, and the back, and then the bottom of the machine comes off. There is a strain relief for the power cord that'll pop right off like that. The back comes out like that. To take the top now off, we would flip the machine back over right side up, move the carriage all the way to one side, and then we can take off the top shell. But just to get to the belt, it's available right here. And I found this 1/8 of an inch belt that's 4 1/4 inches in diameter at the local hardware store. Okay, I'm going to flip this machine over right side up onto my pad. Then I'm going to move the margins all the way out, and I should be able to lift off the top shell and move the carriage out from the opening in the shell like that. I'm going to try to turn this machine on and safely test it. I'm going to have to lift it up so the bottom mechanism doesn't interfere with the towel here. I'm going to go ahead and thread some paper in here. Okay, so I have the underneath side supported by this box so it doesn't interfere with anything. Keep in mind this fan blade is going to be spinning when the motor turns on, so make sure you don't have anything interfering with that. Okay. Hey, it looks like it types. Okay. The real question is, does it carriage return? I'm going to have to hold this. Hey! It looks like it works good. So here you can see a little more detail, the automatic carriage return system. So this is the spindle that normally turns. It's going to engage this plastic cog into that gear, and there is looks like a nylon kind of a string wrapped around several times around the drum that goes over this pulley and back to the left side of the carriage, and that pulls the carriage back. Pretty interesting system. Okay, it's a good idea to put the machine up on some blocks and test it with rapid typing, because you might have to adjust the tension of the belt. So it was originally, I had the motor pulled all the way back to max tension, but I went ahead and loosened these and readjusted them about midway on their range now on these screws, and the one up here, of course, also. So what you notice right here is the escapement mechanism is very open and very accessible, and it's a unique escapement. It's different than a lot of the classic escapements I've seen, but it's very easily accessed for service. These linkage pieces that are kind of orange colored, they are the keys that will auto repeat, and you notice they don't have a notch in the top like the others do, including over here. And I suspect they're made of a harder grade of metal, which is probably why they have a different finish on them. The motor is a really beefy shaded pole motor. Yeah, you can see these large copper straps that form the shaded pole that creates the rotating magnetic field. Okay, so to get this top back on, I have the machine unplugged and I have the power switch on to unlock the carriage. So I need to move the carriage to one side and then put this side, one of the sides in. Looks like go through the right side works a little better. Right here, make sure the knobs go through the openings properly. Okay, so the top piece is on. Then I'm going to center the carriage and flip it upside down onto my towel to protect all the knobs and everything. Okay, make sure that feels centered. Make sure when you're putting this bottom plate on that all 4 rubber feet bushings are in place on the inside. So we have the strain relief for the power cord has to go into this slot here. Like something like that. Make sure you have enough slack in your cord. So it helps to engage the clips on the back side of the case first, and then the rest of them should clip into place easier. Well, okay then. My paper is wrinkled. All right. All right, let's set the margin. Well, I enjoyed working on this machine. It was easy to get into, and the belt replacement was surprisingly easy. Surprisingly easy to find a belt, actually, that seems to work fine for it. Now, it's a matter of putting this machine to use in my stable of typewriters. I've had 3 Type Bar electrics. Well, this is the 3rd Type Bar electric. I've had 2 others. I haven't used them all that much. I tend to favor manual machines, but I think I'm going to try putting this one to use and seeing how I get on with it, and perhaps another video may come out of it in the future. I don't know. Anyways, if you guys are curious about the replacement of the belt or any other questions on this, or in general, anything about Type Bar electrics, drop a line down below. I'd love to have a dialogue with you guys, and until next time, stay well, drink your tea, have your orange slices. That's right. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.